What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, September 7th, 2017. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the busiest lady in the business, Andrea Renee.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
I haven't been on this show in a while.
Is that true? Oh, yeah. No, the PAX thing. It's been a while. You've been around. You were here yesterday for the Destiny stream.
For the stream, yeah.
So it just feels like, you're here all the time inhabiting these halls.
I
taking
know.
care of us. I noticed we've been doing this show long enough that I no longer have to think about your nickname. Beforehand, leading into it, I have to, wait, was it busiest lady in the business? All right, cool. But now it's just there. It's second nature.
Awesome.
The date, I can never remember. I got no short-term memory, but if I say stuff over and
Dates
over and
are
over
hard,
again.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to, just don't want to screw it up.
Don't beat yourself up.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Look at
No
you
problem.
looking out for me. We're one day removed from the official release of Destiny 2.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, liking what I've seen so far. Do have some gripes,
Okay, save them.
which I know we're going to talk about on the Games Cast.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, today, right, this is housekeeping already. We're doing the show all out of order. Today is Thursday. We're recording the Kinda Funny Games Cast right after this. Not right after, but we'll eat lunch. But after this, we're going to record a Kinda Funny Games Cast. You can pick it up live as we do it at patreon.com/kindafunnygames for $1. Or you can get it early on at YouTube, early on Patreon tomorrow as well, or free on YouTube on Monday. But it's all Destiny, so we're keeping a lot of the Destiny stuff there. Not full review, but full impressions so far.
Yeah.
But did you go home and play more last night?
I did.
Yeah.
So we
Thanks for
recorded
the call.
Yeah. I didn't get online until almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I was already.
You
I was
were
in
no
bed.
longer online.
Here's the one Jen threw at me last night. I've been playing Destiny for a while, and like the good thing about gorging and streaming all day is that I feel like when I get home, I can actually like spend time with her and not feel like I'm ignoring my video games.
Yeah.
So I was like, you want to watch something together? She's like, because she stopped everybody's golf. She's like, yeah. She picked Spawn.
Huh.
The Spawn movie from
Okay.
back in the 90s we watched, and holy shit, is that a bad movie? That is a
That's-
bad film.
Seems like a waste of time.
It was fun and stupid to watch. Martin Sheen being a bad guy, seeing how bad. Because I remember watching this movie when it came out and being like, "Oh, we didn't get superhero films." So I was like, "Oh, this isn't that bad. This is interesting. This is cool." And I watched it out. I'm like, "This is awful."
Well, I'm sorry.
How much did you play last night for
had
Destiny?
experience.
It happened. You know what I mean? This is marriage.
Yeah.
She goes to make the bad decision. I roll the dice and ride along.
Well, I got into Crucible last night. So the fire team that I was playing with, one of the people wasn't high enough level for us to continue the story stuff. And he wasn't planning on hanging around for long anyway. So when he dropped out, me and one of my clanmates decided to go into Crucible and check it out. And I'm still don't know how I feel about the 4v4 change.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about that because I played that last night too. But of course, that'll be on the Games Cast, which gives you reviews, impressions, and things like that. This is Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday on a variety of platforms. We run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about before giving you some perspective, answering your questions, reading your bad PSN names, having a good time. Other piece of housekeeping for you, Cooking with Greggy, a show you made happen thanks to your support over on my Instagram, is debuting Monday. There is a trailer up right now on youtube.com/kindafunny, the Patreon page, my Twitter, all that jazz. So check that out. And then again, Gamescast right after this, patreon.com/kindafunnygames. But for now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. There are 2 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Thank you, Joey. Wow.
Ooh, so subdued.
I know, right? No, I like that. There's like texture to that one rather than just screaming. And I'm sick of these people on the internet screaming. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Number 1. The South Park fractured butthole difficulty slider changes your
Couldn't
skin
even
color.
get a joke in.
And there's a bunch of gender stuff attached to it too. This is from Eurogamer. They have a video up about it, but their article explains it all out. What's interesting is the easier the difficulty, the lighter your character's skin. Conversely, the harder the difficulty, the darker your character's skin. It means if you want to play the fractured butthole on a harder than normal difficulty, you have to play as a person of color. During the process, South Park stalwart Eric Cartman will comment, quote, "Don't worry, this doesn't affect combat, just every other aspect of your whole life." Eurogamer asked Ubisoft developers about this feature during a recent hands-on event. They were told the difficulty of the game affects the amount of money you receive and the way other characters speak to you throughout the course of the game. It is, quite clearly, a social commentary on racism in modern society, and, as far as video games go, a pretty effective one. Later in the game, the Fractured But Whole asks you to choose your character's gender. In a conversation with South Park school counselor Mr. Mackey, you must choose from 3 options: male, female, and other. In the previous South Park game, Stick of Truth, you had to play as a boy. Eurogamer picked female. Mr. Mackey ums and ahs before calling your parents, who reinforced the decision. It turns out, if you pick a non-male character, Ubisoft will use the conversation with Mr. Mackey as a smart retconning of the Stick of Truth. Quote, "So the whole King and Stick of Truth thing, she was actually a girl the entire time." Mr. Mackey then asked you to clarify exactly what you mean by a girl. You're then asked to select whether you identify as cisgender or transgender. Eurogamer picked up transgender, and Mr. Mackey once again calls your parents. Quote, "It still tracks with the Stick of Truth. Yes, it does. She was definitely a girl the whole time. Yes, of course, I get it." End quote. Fucking brilliant.
I'm very happy to hear this.
So, I mean...
And it's such a perfect fit for it.
Yeah.
Of all the people who make social commentary across various spectrums of media, South Park has always been so poignant and so on the nose with their parody, and who better than to tackle this head on?
I would expect nothing less, but I wouldn't have expected it this way. You know what I mean? And like the line from Cartman, "Don't worry, this doesn't affect combat, just every aspect of your whole life." And then to go into how much money you earn and how people talk to you, like, so brilliant. And it's something that I know when I got to host the panel with Trey and Matt at Comic-Con for the original Stick of Truth, or original South Park game, I should say. And talking to them, like, that was one of their concerns, right? Is that the show, of course, everybody's seen the documentary, is done, like, it's completed, moments before it actually has to be turned into Comedy Central. So they're able to be on point and have all this social commentary in there that resonates. And the fact that even in the video game, they're able to do this. Now, granted, these are hot button issues all the time, but in the way it's been ratcheted up in recent weeks, if not months, I think it's brilliant that it's in there, and what a great idea.
And bravo to Ubisoft for trusting them enough to let them take this leap. I'm sure there are plenty of publishers out there who would not allow them to take such a bold move because it could alienate, certain people. People like to get upset about things very quickly these days. So hats off to both of them.
The only, I shouldn't say the only thing, I haven't dug around. I've read the article, I retweeted the Eurogamer link about it, and I got one tweet back from somebody who I think was taking it a bit too seriously. It didn't sound like they were in any way like against, they're not being a racist or anything.
Somebody taking South Park a bit too seriously? You don't say.
The comment I got back on Twitter was like, "Oh, this sucks. I hate being forced into my character looking a certain way in a character creator."
Oh yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
Oh, do you have things to say about that, Andrea?
I mean, nothing that I haven't already said.
Yeah. Jen the other day was super bummed in Everybody's Golf that she keeps unlocking all these new voices, and then she goes to apply them to her character, and they're not there. And then finally she's like, "Wait, are these gender bound?" And she went in, and sure enough, like, she has all these guy voices, but all these girls. And then it's like she can check her tweets, but it was something to the effect of like, on the other side of it, like, guys couldn't be shy or sexy. Like, it was like super like in the box what you think of pink and blue gender and what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but into the guy who's like, "Oh man, I mean, you picked your first character in the Stick of Truth, and clearly this is using it as commentary on everything." I'm super excited. This actually gets me excited to play it twice, or at least watch a video that somebody else is doing that'll explain the differences. Because I'd love to go through as the whitest of white people and the darkest of dark people and see what exactly happens there.
I wonder if the conversations are going to be dramatically different. I have to imagine they have to relatively stick to the same narrative thread just for production purposes. But
well, it'd be interesting too in terms of like what happens if you choose transgender, right? And you go through this game. Is it going to be that like someone's making a knock at you about this, and clearly the bad characters or something to that effect? But yeah, it's gonna be awesome to get this game and see what actually the differences are. And as usual, this thing still looks like it's coming out. Still coming out this year, apparently. Greg Miller was like, "Don't bet anything on this thing. I don't believe it'll happen." Da, da, da. And they're like, "Hey, fuck you, Greg Miller. It's still happening. Here's this preview event we were invited to, but we couldn't do it because of short staff." And it was just like, "Huh, all right, you're really there. Good for you." Now, number 2, Andrea.
Yes.
Hold on to your hat. The rumors were true. LA Noire is coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Plus, it's getting a VR game.
Now I can fall asleep in VR.
Yeah, oh, what a burn. Let me run you through the bullet points, then we have now granted, it's a slow news day. 2 items on the Roper Report. I was blown away by the amount of LA Noire questions we had. It was this and then the Destiny shader stuff. But I think the LA Noire questions outnumbered the shader questions, which I was like, holy cow. So I'm going to give you the bullet points and we'll get into the questions. November 14th, 2017, you'll get this on Switch, PS4, Xbox One. Alongside These three, and this is all from Rockstar's PR press release. Alongside these 3 new console versions comes LA Noire, the VR case files, featuring 7 select cases from the original game rebuilt specifically for a virtual reality experience on the HTC Vive system. LA Noire, the VR case files for HTC Vive, delivers 7 of the original engrossing self-contained cases from LA Noire, rebuilt specifically for virtual reality, blending breathtaking action with true detective work to deliver an unprecedented interactive experience. LA Noire for the Nintendo Switch features the complete original game and all additional downloadable content with specific enhancements, including a Joy-Con mode with gyroscope, gesture-based controls, HD rumble, and new wide and over-the-shoulder camera angles, plus contextual touchscreen controls for portable detective work. LA Noire for PS4 and Xbox One delivers the complete original game and all the additional downloadable content with a range of technical enhancements for greater visual fidelity and authenticity, including enhanced lighting for enhanced lighting and clouds, new cinematic camera angles, high-resolution textures, and more. LA Noire plays natively in 1080p for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles and stunning 4K for PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X, capturing the grit and grime of the City of Angels like never before. Brandon wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD, just like you can, and says, LA Noire, who the hell asked for this?
Not a goddamn person.
What a weird pick. I can't get over the fact, like when this came up, I was like, I think you're on that show, right? Where I was like, I can't imagine they do this. Why would they do this?
Of
Nobody
all
really cares
the
about
games
this.
in their library, why that one?
The only thing I can figure, and I really can't, I guess, is just that it had to be super easy. You've seen the success you've had with the GTA 5. Okay. So there's a whole new audience, we'll say, a new generation that's suddenly been like, oh, Rockstar, that I know what that R and star means. That is something, that's a quality game. That's a game I really want to play. And so I guess LA Noire has enough behind it in terms of people have heard of that game. It was divisive. Brandon and me, and I think you to that, of just being like, it wasn't that great and we really didn't love it. Like, I think that's a lot of people, but I do know there's a lot of people who loved it.
Yeah, no, just for reference, the Metacritic rating for LA Noire on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 is 89%.
Yeah.
The complete edition on PC is 83%. So, like, it scored well. My problem with the game wasn't that it was broken or that it was bad. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fun.
I agree with you 100%. And for me personally, and I mean, obviously coming from IGN and editorial background, I feel like this is one of those critical games that scored well that people, if you talk to people and they look back at that, they'd be like, that's a bit high. You know what I mean? I think that's one that you get so swept up in the facial capture, and it was different and it was an interesting idea, but interesting ideas don't necessarily make a memorable game.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's just like, whatever.
I will say, even though I made the joke about falling asleep in VR, I think that the type of detective work that you do in that game and the way that the mechanics are built into that detective work could lend itself pretty well to VR. So I would be willing to give it another go in virtual reality.
See, my thought process on it was, oh, okay, the VR, that sounds cool. And then when I read into it, it's just cases from the game already. That turns me off.
Well, I mean, if you've already solved the cases,
that's not even my thing.
Like the replay value doesn't really exist for that game.
The only case I remember from it is Reefer Madness, and I think that was DLC or whatever. And they were importing, they were from Cuba, bringing in weed, and then climbing up poles with my dress shoes on and being like, this doesn't make sense. It's more the fact of just like my problems with the gameplay, right? Where like where did you go? Where are you? I didn't go anywhere. Okay, that guy's lying. Like, this isn't like I'm looking for.
For those of you listening, Greg just made some really ridiculous faces, indicating that the NPCs in the game didn't particularly react in the way that you would think that they were going to react when you were interrogating them. Because you were supposed to read their body language and their facial expressions to try to determine if they're lying or not.
Exactly. And so it was a cool idea and it sounded really awesome at the time. And then when you played it, it was like, oh, and then there were just like. It's the same thing any detective game gets into. I always make fun of it, where I remember this one time where they opened up the hotel ledger and I was supposed to look for a name or whatever, or like the incongruencies in the story, and I just took my finger and plowed through it until finally the guy's like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next thing. It's a weird game to bring back. However, Shane writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD, just like you can, and says, Greg and your awesome co-host. I was excited to hear today that LA Noire will be coming to current-gen consoles, including the Switch. I was a fan of the game when it came out, but the size got the best of me, parentheses. It was 3 discs on Xbox 360. Holy shit, I didn't even remember that. and I was unable to finish it. I can see myself playing a game like this on the go on the Switch, but will everyone? This game is years old. Do you see it getting a second life on the Switch? Is this the kind of game Switch needs? Should we just be excited that Rockstar remembers who Nintendo is? And does this mean there is a possibility of Red Dead 2, GTA 6, or even the game that won't die, GTA 5, coming to Switch? Thanks, and keep up the awesome work, Shane. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything, right? In the way that it's a game that has been lost to the previous console generation. It's a game I don't think a lot of people talk about enough. When it comes up, you're like, oh yeah, Team Bondi and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a good one of getting out there to people who have these new systems, who maybe had heard about it, again, know what Rockstar's logo means.
Right.
But yeah, the most fascinating thing, and this is Shane's question, but a shout out to someone who wrote in, and I did not go back to look because I'm very busy. But the last two shows, it started with Carboni, I believe, where I gave him a choice of questions and he didn't pick this one. People have been writing, this one person's been writing in every day asking about, do I think GTA 5 will ever come to the Switch? And I think this is probably a huge test bed for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely don't think Red Dead 2 or GTA 6 are going to come to Switch.
No way.
I think those games are going to be so massive that Switch just can't handle that.
Yeah.
But if Skyrim can run on Switch, if Bethesda can make that work, they could definitely make GTA work.
And that's my
GTA
thing.
5 specifically.
Yeah, well, especially, you bring over the PS3 360 version of it, and if it's showing, like you're saying with Skyrim, or now with LA Noire, which granted, they're different games. They're not as complex as GTA 5's living world, but they're close. I mean, LA Noire is close. You are driving around an open world LA. I definitely think that that's possible. And that's, if this was LA Noire and it was just coming to Switch, it would make sense to me. Okay, they're taking a property that didn't make enough money. They're putting it on this new platform and they're saying, hey, ARMS is selling more than 1 million copies. Can we sell can LA Noire sell more than 1 million copies? And if so, go, oh fuck, well then get GTA 5 over here.
I highly doubt LA Noire is going to sell 1 million copies.
Well, I'm saying in my hypothetical world, if they were just putting it on, if it was just on Switch, it was
like, what you're saying.
We're testing the waters for Switch for Nintendo.
Got it.
This, bringing over to everything is just an interesting, weird one, but more power to them. Do what you got to do.
Why didn't they bring Max Payne back instead?
Max Payne 3?
Yeah, that was a great game.
That's another one that I remember Charles liked a lot, and I was a big Max Payne fan from 1 and 2, but I never played. I played it at preview events, and it was like fine, but it felt like just another shooter.
Oh no!
What was so great about it? Lay it on me. Pitch me LA Noire. Pitch me Max Payne 3.
Well, I mean, it had that really, classic bullet time combat mechanic, which was awesome. I just remember the story being very engrossing, and the combination of cutscenes and conversations interspersed with the combat just felt really fluid. It had a really good flow to it in a way that sometimes in narrative-based FPS games the shooting is either really great and the story suffers, or the story is really great and the shooting suffers. And I felt like both of them excelled in Max Payne.
All right. See, with that pitch, I'd play that one again. LA Noire, I don't have any interest in.
Don't go back.
I'm not going to go back to LA Noire.
No.
It's been brought to my attention by myself that I forgot to tell you. You can get this show on a variety of platforms. If you're watching live as we record it, as you can do, remember it's on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you're watching that and we get something wrong, you need to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong to set the record straight. We read it at the end of the show. That way, everybody who listens or watches on youtube.com/kindoffunny or podcast, Kind of Funny Games, or podcast services around the globe gets one version that has all the answers for them. Support us on Patreon. You got the Amazon Prime. You got the Twitch Prime. Andrew.
Yes, Greg.
LA Noire is coming, but it's not here yet. If I wanted to know what was coming to Digital Mom and Grop shops today, where would I go?
You would go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, The Bridge on Switch, and then Senku no Ronde 2 on PS4. You might remember this was the Destiny 2 killer that was released on PC yesterday to try to fight.
The Destiny 2 killer?
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
No one was brave enough to step up to Destiny 2 yesterday, except for
rightly so.
Senko no Ronde 2 on PC. They said, "Oh, they were like, you don't get it on PC. You're not getting Destiny 2 on PC. PC players, here you go. Do this." I also didn't see in my inbox the traditional Nintendo press release that runs down, because usually Nintendo puts up a bunch of stuff, but right now all I got is The Bridge. So correct me if I'm wrong. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong.
Please do.
New dates for you. Transcripted is coming to the PlayStation 4 on September 13. Forza 7 has gone gold. The demo will be out September 19th. And then Neo's final DLC, Bloodshed's End, is launching September 26th. Over for deals of the day. Humble Bundle is having an end of summer sale through September 21st, and there's like a million things for sale.
Nice.
Walking Dead, the Telltale series, was $0 today. You could have gotten that for free.
So it's free?
Yeah, but it was like with an hour and a half left when I was putting together the show.
Oh.
So maybe if you're watching right now live on Twitch, you can go over there and get it. But otherwise, there's a bunch of other stuff for sale.
You're out of luck.
Then Xbox Live Gold members can play Skyrim Special Edition for free this weekend. And finally, Academic Pig wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, Mirage Arcane Warfare is free on Steam for PC nerds, parentheses, makers of chivalry, XOXO.
I think there's one new date that we missed.
Lay it on me.
The Forza Motorsport 7 demo is arriving on September 19th.
Burn. We did have that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did I just
just
completely miss it?
No, yeah, it's fine. You're doing your job over there. You're looking up.
I just wanted to make sure.
No, we got that, yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. It's been a long week.
Don't apologize. Yeah, because we've been playing Destiny nonstop.
PAX, man, and then Destiny.
Oh, right, yeah. That was the thing I was talking to Jen about, like with PAX and rolling right in, off the plane on Monday, right into work. That like last night, I was like, I can't believe this week's gone so fast that it feels like I can't believe it was already Wednesday. And then this morning I woke up and I was like, no, it feels appropriate now. Now I am where I'm like, why isn't it Friday? Like, you know what I mean? Now it's suddenly got super slow and all these different things.
Yep.
Time for reader mail, where the first question is the hot button issue of Destiny, microtransactions, and shaders. But before then, I need to tell you, reader mail is brought to you by DraftKings. You've been waiting for this since February 6th. Football season is here, and there's no better way to get closer to the game you love than with DraftKings 1 week fantasy football. To celebrate, DraftKings is hosting a $100,000 contest this Sunday that is totally free to enter. And if you draft the perfect lineup, you can win $1 billion. A billion with a B. Choose between public contests with big cash prizes or private contests where you can compete against a group of your friends. DraftKings also has beginner and casual contests where you play against people of similar skill levels. So get to DraftKings.com now and use the promo code KindaFunny to play in DraftKings free contest with $100,000 in total prizes this Sunday. And if you draft the perfect lineup, you can win $1 billion. That's promo code KindaFunny, all one word, to play for your shot to win $1 billion this Sunday. This contest is totally free to enter, so why wouldn't you try? A shoe?
$1 billion.
$1 billion. I haven't figured out how to work a shoe into this ad read yet, but I will. Don't you worry about it. DraftKings, the game inside the game. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. I always wanted to be that guy in the radio ad that just pops in and goes, da, 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 da. Then I get to do it. Look at my life.
You made it, Greg Miller.
This is it. All right, guys. This is where you write into kindafunny.com/KFGD. You give me questions. We read them here. A lot of Destiny questions are being saved for the Gamescast being recorded this afternoon. But there's one pressing issue we need to get into. X-Wing V Man X writes in and says, hey, Greg and Andrea. I'm all for cosmetic microtransactions in games. I understand the need for additional sources of revenue, especially in service games. But taking an existing cosmetic feature of a game and making it incentivized microtransactions seems like shady business. Are you okay with this change in Destiny 2, or do you think this was a step too far? Andrea Renee?
Immediate step too far.
Summarize for everybody what's happening. If they've missed, Jim Sterling has an excellent video on it. It's all over the sites right now in terms of people are furious about this, that, and the other thing. It's all about shaders, correct?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to just read a little piece from Games Radar to just succinctly tell everyone what's happening.
Thank you.
So Destiny 2 shaders work differently than they did in the first game. They can be applied to individual items instead of your entire armor set. But they're also...
sounds cool at first.
Yeah. So it means like you could have like a green helm and a pink pair of gauntlets,
Because before,
example.
if you didn't play Destiny 1, like... I loved the shaders. I loved getting all these different ones and getting and earning them and doing this. And it was like, all right, cool. I have a pink one because I wanted pink armor, of course. But you doing that and it was like all pink. And there wasn't like, it's not like where I can go in and say, well, I want the accent color to be black and I want this. It was like, you're all pink.
Right. And so part of the design of the shaders was that the colors of where they appeared on your armor set were locked to that specific shader. Because some shaders had pink, but only on specific pieces of the armor, or you were all one color, and that was like they all had individual names. And so like when I was playing Destiny, we would talk about sometimes when we would like raid together, we would all go in wearing the same
match the
shader.
same shader, yeah,
but
yeah.
like that's going to be impossible now,
Yeah.
unless somebody has spent the money or we've all
I was gonna say
somehow
continue.
managed
Sorry,
to get them.
I took you off the rails.
No, it's okay. Okay, so basically what the main gripe is that they're consumable. Continuing to read from this article. Bungie's sequel makes so many little quality of life improvements on the original that it's difficult to count them all. But those two relatively minor tweaks are dominating the community conversation a few days after launch. And of course, referring to shaders. Shaders were permanent pieces of gear, like most of the loot you earned from killing enemies or completing tasks. You popped one into your shader slot and it would color all of your armor into matching tones. In Destiny 2, shaders drop in multiples of single-use items, and each piece of gear, including guns, has its own shader slot. You can still find shaders in the wild, but you can also get them in bright engrams, sold via microtransactions and earned by leveling up once you hit the level cap, which currently is 20, at the Everse Trading Company. So the Everse Trading Company was added into Destiny about halfway through its life cycle as a microtransaction shop
With
to buy
real money, right?
Yeah, so you would buy silver, which is the in-game currency, and then silver would buy you emotes, most notably. That's what I spent almost all of my silver on. And then there were various events throughout the year where they would have specialty boxes with holiday items and things like that you could spend silver on. So when I checked, back to the article, when I checked 6 of the top 20 Destiny Reddit forum threads were all about the shader problem. The most active of them all has 39,000 upvotes, which is mind-boggling that many people are upvoting this. Now that specific Destiny Reddit thread, I think, has over 350,000 community members. So the poster rightly observes that this new system, as we know it now, will lead to all kinds of unfun stuff like stockpiling shaders for that one perfect gear set that will never actually arrive. And of course, a lot of players are airing their grievances on Twitter, as I did. So here's the thing that I'm really upset about this. In Destiny, I changed the color of my armor almost daily.
I was gonna say when I was hardcore into Destiny, or when I was playing Destiny 1 nightly, I was changing my colors nightly. Yeah,
sometimes you're in Crucible, you want to look a certain way. You're doing PvE, you want to look a certain way. Like I mentioned, when I was raiding with my clan, we would all wear the same shader together. The thing that instantly makes me mad is the word consumable. Yeah, because in Destiny, particularly in these early days, you're dropping your items constantly. You're deleting, or you're discarding them, you're dismantling them, you're getting the new thing. Even the exotic stuff that you're getting now is super low level and you don't know if you're actually going to want it yet. It's probably going to be a solid month or two of me playing before I decide what my favorite gun is, if I even get one that quickly. I mean, I play Destiny since the alpha of the original, I still changed out my exotics pretty frequently. And to think that I have to lock a shader to that, and then if I change my mind, it's gone, and then you're gonna charge me to get it back? But the really shitty part about this is that you can't even go to the store and buy that specific shader again.
It's a loot box.
You have to hope and pray to RNGesus that you're gonna get it, and that makes me furious.
Sure. As it should.
Sorry, I'm getting worked up. I'm mad about this, Greg.
Because that's the thing, when it first starts and it's like,
and Andy came in because I know he probably has something to say.
So to be clear about this,
too.
like I was saying, the Destiny Gamescast is going to be pretty much Destiny. And so I thought about saving this question discussion for that show. Yeah. My problem is, of course, the Gamescast is windowed. There's all these different things. Right. I have a feeling the story is going to continue to evolve and change.
There is a little bit of news on this, which makes it relevant for Kind of Funny Games Daily.
Yeah, because you're saying right before Luke said something, right?
So clearly I'm not the only one who's pissed off about this. Yeah. Like millions of Destiny players are mad. So Luke Smith from Bungie, the director of Destiny 2, got on Twitter this morning and made a statement. So here's what he said. He says, shaders are earned through gameplay, leveling, chests, engrams, vendors. We expect you'll be flush with shaders as you continue to play. When you reach level 20, shaders will drop more often. Vendor rewards, destination play, and end game activities. Shaders are now an ongoing reward for playing. Customization will inspire gameplay. Each planet has unique armor and shader rewards. With D2, we want statements like, I want to run the raid, trials, or go back to Titan to get more of its shader to be possible. I'm calling bullshit on that, Luke Smith. That is a terrible response. I mean, it's a response. I'm glad that they had the wherewithal to actually say, "Hey, people are on fire about this. We got to say something."
Sure.
But this is what you're saying. Destination play and end game activities. We don't even know when the first raid's going to come out. You know, and that's why that Reddit thread said, "Don't spend a single cent on the microtransactions
Isn't
in
the
Destiny."
first raid next week?
Is it next week?
I thought so. Yeah, the next week they announced
So
that date.
the thing I'm mad about here is that the idea that I have to go run the raid or trials or go back to Titan to get more of its shader when there isn't a guaranteed drop for the shader that I'm looking for
Not to mention,
is the problem.
What if you want it to be a matching set? You're gonna run that let's say it's a raid and that's where you get the shader you love, right? And you're gonna run the raid. How many slots are there in Destiny for your armor, for your gauntlets, your chest piece, your helmet, like all these different
you got boots, a chest piece, and a helmet.
gauntlets.
Actually,
Weapons.
yeah, so weapons. Andy, do you know how many individual slots there are that you can customize on your character? We'll figure it out and we'll talk about it on Gamescast.
Basically, what I'm saying is there's
or
a
if
lot.
you guys know, go
even
to
if it's-
kindoffunny.com/you're
Let's
wrong
say
and
it
let
was
me
just
know.
the 4 pieces of your body, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you have to run it, but yeah, it's RNG. So like, what am I gonna do? What if I don't get it out of that? Like, it's attached to a raid. Like, I understand oh, look at me, I'm fully colored. I've clearly run the raid, done it. But it's also like, come on.
I just don't like that it's consumable, that I use it, and then if I decide I want to change the way that my armor looks for a specific reason.
And I don't think that can be stressed enough.
I have to go find it again?
To somebody who's listening and doesn't play Destiny or Destiny 2 or whatever, I don't think you understand the way you are cycling your stuff all the time. Like you saw in the Twitch stream yesterday when we played, I must have changed my helmet like 5 times because every time I'm getting a drop there. So for me to go in there and be like, all right, I love this shader, apply it to the helmet, and then 20 minutes later get a better helmet, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's bad.
If they could let me
I think
lock my style, which is another thing I've asked for a lot, that'd be fine.
Right. Now, I get that they want to give more customization options to people. That's important. I think they are scratching the itch of people that love RPGs, that love being able to make their Guardian feel like it's theirs.
Yeah.
That's okay. The gross part about this is that right now that you can get more shaders from microtransactions, and so they're essentially making you buy them. And I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with using real money to buy the color that I want if I could specifically buy the color that I want and I could then use it as much as I wanted.
Sure.
The way that original Destiny allowed you to do that. I would have less of a problem if that was the case, but it's not. That's not the case.
And that's the interesting thing. I know when we talk about microtransactions in video games, you're talking about the whales, right? The people who will go there and sit there and pump in, because you can get like, I was watching, Game Informer. Yeah, Game Informer's video today about microtransactions, because this really opens up at level 20 where there's a whole bunch of stuff to buy. And they went on and they were like running through what you could buy on PSN. And if you buy the $50 worth of silver, you get like 8,000 silver as a bonus, because it's incentivizing you to go and spend as much as possible. I am so less inclined now to roll the dice on any of that. If it's what you're saying, right, where it was like, cool, I really want to be black and gold for Mizzou, and I could go in there and buy the black and gold shader, and it was right there, I would totally give them that money, because I want that, and I want it right now. Even though my gear is like low level and garbage looking, and I look like I'm fucking out of a trash heap, I'd still want that color scheme. And that was what, even if it was then I could earn it like I could in Destiny 1, because that was a big moment for me in Destiny 1 when I finally got a shader I really dug and put it on my character, and I was like, this purple pink, and I was like, yeah, I look fucking awesome right now. But if I'm never gonna buy one just to apply it to have it be gone when I get the next piece of thing. Not to mention, I'm not gonna go in there and be like, I'm gonna roll to buy hopefully I got the black, I'm gonna put it on just my legs now. Like, that's not what I want. That's not how this is.
No, and the idea that they're making skins, which is essentially what shaders are, consumable, is problematic, not only as a Destiny fan and as somebody who has spent hundreds of dollars on the original Destiny, but that it sets a really dangerous precedent for other games to say, oh, look at how much money Activision made making skins consumable. Why don't we do that in our game? And I don't want people to go down that path. I think video games are expensive enough, and I'm always the proponent of making sure the devs get paid and that the art is paid for, and clearly there's people who are making this. Like, I'm that person, but not like this.
Yeah.
It's just bad. They need to figure out a better way.
And that was my thing again. so I didn't want to put it in Gamescast because my fear is we talk about it today. Something like this would happen where Luke has a response, but then overnight something happens. People on Patreon tomorrow, on Friday see it, but whatever. And then by Monday, it's like outdated. That something is drastically changed. I said that, and you're like, do you think they're going to change it that quick? I totally could see them changing it this quickly, or having some kind of response of, all right, we hear. I mean, this is a game where right now Destiny 2 is obviously just taking over the world. It's all anybody's talking about. So many people are playing it. The Jim Sterling video about this, which is great, which is basically like, hey, I know a lot of people don't care about this. This is the crack in the door for more shit. Nobody cares about microtransactions till they come and fuck up something you care about.
Right.
And he's like, his thing was, I've only played 10 minutes of Destiny 2 so far, and I love that so much more than the hours I put into Destiny 1. He's like, the game is good. They don't need this pockmark. And for a game that is,
right,
especially for Luke, who's a great dude, hey, we are the community. We are listening to you, Guardians. We love you. We're doing all these different things. Like, I don't think they can let this stew around because that statement doesn't solve the problem.
No, not at all. I mean, to have that be the statement is just so disappointing.
Yeah.
Come on, Bungie. Don't be dicks about this.
I have to imagine there's an announcement coming soon, if not in the next week, of, cool, we hear you, shaders are not going to be consumable, or we're going to figure this out and dance that. But then again, if it doesn't happen, then I wonder about how much it is, and this sucks to say, but Activision's involvement, right? As publisher, as we want to make as much money as possible. And not that that's bad, they're a business, I understand that.
Yeah.
Where does that line cross where, was this a move Bungie wanted to make? Or was it somebody being like, hey, we could make money off of this? And
I'm sure this is the child of some marketing schmuck in a boardroom somewhere being like, let's make as much money as possible. But like, this game made a lot of money before that.
Yeah.
It will make even more money because this game is better than Destiny. So I don't understand why, like you said, Jim mentioned in his video, like, don't come out the gate with this on your back.
And I feel like, and this is the same thing too, is where this is such an easy win. The goal is open right now, right? Hey, and like, this is what I always talk about, kind of funny, like how, and granted, we're small and we have to worry about it, but when we fuck up, we say, hey, everybody, we fucked up, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we fucked up. We hear you loud and clear, that's done. And suddenly, what was it, 3,900 upvotes or whatever, right? Those move to the post of
39,000.
39,000, my apologies. That moves to, hey, look at Bungie's awesome. They're listening. They're letting us be part of this game and like figuring out where it goes. Because this isn't, we're standing our ground. We truly believe in this. This is cool. I now no longer care about shaders, and I resign to the fact that Taylor Swift's always going to look weird. Because that is the thing where she's got all these weird colors. I'm like, I don't like this at all. Like, she looks like this. You ever see this movie Star Wars? There's this real terrible character in there named Boba Fett whose color scheme's really horrible, and that's what she looks like. And I don't like that.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Andy, do you have anything to chime in on all this?
Oh, talk about on Gamescast.
Okay, fine. He'll talk about it on Gamescast. He's just over here doing. I mean, you know, Andy complains all the time that he can't get his work done, but then he just comes in and listens to this show. So that's just interesting. I love you. I want Wingman V to get a little bit in here. He says, personally, I think this is taking advantage of players' favorite way to customize their Guardians, especially in a game where frequently changing your armor for better gear is part of the core experience. Also, with the possibility to get a drop of only 3 of the same shader type, requiring you to grind or go buy the 4th feels extra underhanded. I would be fine if they put specific shaders behind a paywall as long as they were permanent, but this just makes me not want to touch any of the microtransactions. So he's with me, and again, to his point, if I was to walk up to I'm sorry, Everness or whatever, the dealer? Eververse.
Thank
sorry. Walk up to her, even right now, and it was like, hey, here are all these shaders for you to go, right? And I could get the Kind of Funny blue or the Kind of Funny Games hot pink and all that stuff. I'd be like, yeah, okay, here's my money. You're actually going to get my money. But the way you're doing it right now, especially as loot box, especially, hey, gamble on this random chance you're going to open this up and you're going to get it. No
and then
way.
It's consumable on top of that.
There's such a hurdle for me even to care about this, let alone to get there and be like, well, I'm gonna have to play for hours and hours and hours to figure out this is my set for however long it's going to be, which who knows if, this is the thing, I'm not a whale. I'm not somebody, I love Destiny 2 so much so far, and I really am hopeful us 3 as a fire team stick together, we get Gary Witt involved, we play it for hours and years. But maybe it probably won't happen. I'll probably get sidetracked by something when it comes out. You guys will pull ahead of me and I'll be gone. But right now, they could have more of my money if they wanted it. I would gladly hand it over to get like cool outfits to fucking, especially if I can do it piece by piece, which you couldn't do before. Because I always wanted Taylor Swift to look like Supergirl, but I couldn't make the blue and the red thing happen because that shader doesn't exist, or didn't when I was playing. Just fucking fix it. Fix it right now. You can have my money. Right, Andy?
Yeah.
All right. like I said, I don't know, I've been beating the drum on this. Kind of Funny Games cast coming up probably in an hour or so or whatever after we eat. So more Destiny talk there. A lot of questions you guys wrote in about that one too. Great stuff. But let's switch gears and get off the Destiny train for a little bit. Remember, you can write in and be part of the show, kindafunny.com/KFGD, just like Malcolm Irons did. Or Beta, as he says it down here, alias Beta. I have a simple yet complex question, parentheses, I think, lol. He's right. What would the games industry look like if these game changers and services hadn't come out when they did or were never released? Xbox Live, Uncharted 1, Halo, he goes on and on. I like Xbox Live, so let's go. Andrea, what does it look like if there's no Xbox Live? What does 2017 look like without Xbox Live having been a thing? Because I think, I pulled the question, so I had time to think.
You've had time to think about
this. You digest
yeah.
a little bit. I think it's a fascinating question, and I bet that this generation looks completely different. I think we're still getting into online gaming if Xbox Live doesn't come around when it does, right? You figure that PS3 360 generation, and I know technically the original Xbox had some Xbox Live, but let's not fool ourselves. We're talking about avatars and having your game picture, your profile picture, and Chivos and all that jazz, and playing and seeing each other's shit. If that comes around later in that generation, if those consoles aren't built from thinking about we need to be online. Think about how far back that sets everything in the way of...
You mean like Nintendo?
Exactly. Yeah, totally, right? Like where it's like digital downloads aren't a thing, at least not how they are now. We're probably still in that era of, oh, it's pretty good for a downloadable game. You know what I mean? Oh, this is interesting. You don't have things that are pushing the medium like Journey or any of these things that have come around like that, let alone the fact you don't have games, you don't have the window for games like Destiny to be on a console, right? Like PC players have been connected and playing with forever and doing WoW and all that jazz, but for the success the first-person shooter found on console to then have the success of an online infrastructure plugged into it, Call of Duty isn't, I don't think, as much a phenomenon. There's so many ripple effects if we set back the clock on where we are with online infrastructure. And I think that's what Xbox Live really brought forward, where people are like, oh shit, we need to do this. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is an interesting question, but I don't know if it's like easy to give an answer to because...
Oh, that's what his simple yet complex... Well, yeah, it's like we're looking into a crystal ball of an alternate universe.
I mean, if you look at the rise of social media networks in general, not on console specifically, but just across the world, when you think about how it kind of began with MySpace and Facebook and now has turned into... Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and all of these other various places where you can have an interactivity with other people across the world in a virtual space. I think we were always going to end up here, no matter when it began.
Sure.
I think I'm glad it started earlier because some of my best gaming memories and the times that I think about what I like to do when I game is with other people. Mm-hmm. And it's so rarely with other people in the same room.
Sure.
It's almost always with somebody online. And that's why I don't play a lot of Nintendo games right now because they just don't have a good online infrastructure.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how to really answer this question.
I mean, I think it would stunt without an Xbox Live. Because here's the thing. Xbox Live comes around and PlayStation's like, oh, we got to step up our game. We got to do this thing. And like in PlayStation, PSN obviously is way behind Xbox Live for the longest time. They started making their changes. So even if the PSN launches with its shitty web portal store and all the stuff PS3 had, who's pushing them forward to be better? And then I think it is one of those systems where you're talking about of like where we are right now with Twitter and Facebook and all these different things. It would be so strange to have seen other industries pull out so far ahead of where the video game industry is. Because, of course, with an app like Twitter, with an app like Facebook, they can update on the fly and go. Whereas with the consoles, the generations are locked. You get it out there and you can add more stuff. You can do more things. You can put out an online adapter. But if it's not baked into the box out of the way, if there hasn't a vision for it, it's so hard to try to catch up to that and get to that point.
That's an interesting point. I guess I didn't think about it from that perspective, but... That's true. I mean, because it is software, they have a little bit more wiggle room, but I'm with you in that their ability to create new features or better functionality is more limited. Thankfully, we're not really in that era anymore.
Sure.
Because both the Xbox One and the PS4 are getting closer to PC power. Yeah. And so they have a little bit more ability to get flexible with their software.
Sure, I would
and
just be
updating
concerned
it.
of where both PS4 and Xbox One's online infrastructures would be if they hadn't started when they started. I think we'd still be making the mistakes we've made in the past, let alone the fact I don't think you're alone in the, hey, I play games to play with other people and do these things, and I want it to be this. If video games were still, you buy the box, you buy the cartridge or whatever and put it in there, and that's the experience, I think that's a much more limited market. That's a much more limited experience, and it's not bringing in as many people. Like, how many people do we know that just do play Destiny? That's what they have a console for, or they just play Rainbow Six or something to that effect.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to live in that world. Don't make me think of it. Emmett Watkins Jr. writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD with a long one, but one I like. Thanks to a Game Beat video of some Cuphead gameplay, there's a debate resurfacing about whether or not games journalists should be good at video games. Real quick, have you seen this video?
I have not, but I've heard about it.
Okay, so
should I pull it up and watch a little bit
if
of
you
it?
want to, I mean, I can explain it. Have you seen how Cuphead starts the demo?
I haven't seen Cuphead for a few months.
Okay, then let me just recap for everybody watching. We saw Cuphead. Tim played it on stage at the GameStop Expo we hosted. And when you start up the demo, it gives you a real brief tutorial. And this might be in the final game too, right? And it's like black and white, and the Cuphead's running, and it's like, jump to do this. All right, now do this. Now do a dash.
Right.
And the video they're referencing got passed around the internet a couple days ago, and it was like, ooh, cringeworthy. And it's like a 2.5-minute video of whoever's playing, and I didn't even know it was GameSpeed, so I don't even know if the GameSpeed's sharing it or whatever. I'm not here to insult anybody, but it's somebody jumping and then trying to do the dash and not understanding it for about a minute and a half.
I'm at that point of the video right now.
And it just goes on like this forever of them not understanding that they need to like either hold the jump to get up higher and do the dash or whatever, but they're hitting the wall, they're dashing away, they're doing all these different things. Got passed around, cringeworthy. I saw YouTube people in quotes, throwing it around of like, oh, well, this is what's wrong with.
Well, Venture Beat
game
themselves titled the video "Dean's Shameful 26 Minutes of Gameplay."
Ah, okay. So there you go.
So they clearly are.
They're in on the.
They recognize
gig,
that it's bad gameplay.
Yeah,
but that it's gameplay.
In the video, the player Dean Takahashi had trouble doing basic tasks and get through the tutorial. This had some similarities to the infamous Doom video from Polygon, in which the player seemed to have little to no first-person shooter experience with controls. I'm sorry, no experience with first-person shooter controls, never moving while shooting and missing most of their shots. This has led folks to claiming that if someone isn't good at a game, they can't have a legitimate opinion on it. Now, while the case of Cuphead and Doom are simply just gameplay rather than full reviews, what do you guys say? Emma continues. Personally, I think it's less about someone's skill level, but more about someone's familiarity with the genre. If one isn't familiar with the basic controls shared throughout a genre, then it's hard to imagine them judging the game properly or showing it off properly in gameplay footage. Having someone unfamiliar with the genre share their opinion should also lead to an interesting discussion, but I don't feel it should take the place of a professional opinion. It's not another deal of the day like I used to send to you guys, but it's something you should all think about. Thanks, y'all. It's a big question too. A lot of big questions here on the other side of this Destiny thing.
Yeah, so I want to start off by saying I personally know Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen him around the games media business for quite some time. He is very credited. He does a lot of great work. He's also a very nice person, and it angered me that people started attacking him online.
Sure.
So don't do that. Just don't attack people online, maybe.
It's
It's bad.
The internet. Why attack anybody?
As a fellow games media person, it is impossible to be good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just flat out impossible. And a lot of times when we play these games, and you can maybe corroborate, we get them for the first time and the controls maybe aren't fine-tuned. They're maybe not final, and we've never seen them before. And this is why I stopped doing capture at a lot of game events, because of this exact reason.
Sure.
That I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Nobody else has really played this, and maybe I've never played it before. And if I capture it and then put it out there, then this is going to happen to me.
Right.
And it's not fair to really come down on him super hard for not being good at this game. Could they have edited the video better? Absolutely. Did they need to include him failing over and over again? No, that was a specific choice that they made.
Sure.
And they were poking fun at it, and it was an editorial decision.
And that's the thing. It seems like from the title that there's an angle to this. They
Right.
know what they're doing. And that's where it gets interesting, where for anybody, and I'm learning from Emmett, I'm learning as we go here, for someone to come down on Dean for this, or to this extent, That makes no sense.
No.
He's not there at the review event. He's not about to review the game. I assume he's not the one reviewing the game. And even if he is, he's going to play hours and hours of it to get better at the game and understand the mechanics.
Right.
If you could toss any game at me, and I think it's fair game for me to put up a Let's Play, and yeah, I might not know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how to fucking play Guilty Gear. I don't know how to fucking play a profound number of games.
Right.
But if it's just me doing a Let's Play, hey, everybody, I'm here to fuck around, blah, 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 it's not representative of, hey, the game sucks. Hey, this is what's wrong with the game, especially for a game like Cuphead, where you literally have dozens of Let's Plays going up from people who are like Colin Moriarty, like I am a Mega Man master. I know platformers. I know what I'm doing. I want to get in there and I want to play it this certain way.
Right.
More power to you. Do that, but there's room for somebody to put up a video here. But especially if it's, hey, look at how bad our friend sucks at this game. Like that's what I'm making a living on. But then to get into reviews, then it gets interesting as well. I worked at IGN, started at IGN at a time when it was, we review everything. Every game that comes out gets reviewed. So it literally was like, I would say, I want to review that game, I want to review that game. But there were plenty of games that got dropped on my desk that I had no history with, that I wasn't necessarily good at, that I didn't even want to play. And I'd have to review those. And those were tough reviews. And now to think back on that, I'm like, I would never, I mean, I would have done it to get in the industry, but I would never assign it that way. You know what I mean?
No.
And
Yeah.
That's the problem where, I reviewed Mortal Kombat versus DC, right? And like, I'm terrible at fighting games. I had no business reviewing that, but it was like, hey, somebody needs to review this. You love DC, obviously. I have a history with Mortal Kombat from being a kid, and that's what I got. But like now when you see, or I don't even know who's reviewing it now, but when you did see like Vincent Genito reviewing all the fighting games at IGN, like he was reviewing them and he's like, I can tell you the different frames and why this works and why this doesn't, blah, blah, blah. Now again, though, that's not to discredit someone who is, and this is where it gets interesting because we work in a very different industry than when I started. When you go to IGN, when you go to GameSpot, when you go to Polygon, I'm expecting you to, these are, the premier sites here, right? And these are where I think of reviews. I expect them to be giving the reviews to the right person because they want hey, I know what I'm talking about. Here's what the review is. I'm not discrediting the fact that, hey, I run a YouTube channel, I run a podcast, I run my own website that's smaller, and my angle is I'm the casual gamer. My angle is I usually only play this, but my audience wants me to try that. I think those reviews have a place as well because there needs to be a thing of, every game in a genre that goes out is going to be someone's first game in a genre.
Exactly. I like that he included Vince's thread about it because he has a thread on Twitter saying,
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, he did.
Saying, being a sound player is 100% required to write about games, but Dean's piece is actually good, and here's why. So he goes on to explain about how he says, first things first, anyone saying you don't need to be good at games and using other industries as an example is missing something key. No, you don't need to play an instrument to critique music or an NBA pro to report on basketball, but those are consumed passively. Playing and action is how one engages with games. If you cannot play, you cannot engage with them in a meaningful way. Imagine a deaf music critic or a blind art critic claiming they didn't really need to hear or see what they were assessing. That is literally what a game critic who cannot play competently is. Games aren't passive experiences, they require participation. So to sum up, games are for people of all ability levels to enjoy, but player skill is required for critique. So that's his first part. And then the second part goes into critique, the reason why he says critique for a specific reason. Dean's piece is not a review or opinion piece, it's a newsy preview. And that's the distinction here, which we were talking about with the Let's Play.
Yeah.
So it was really frustrating to see that there were people online coming at him being like, I can't believe you don't know how to play. How are you even a games journalist? And I'm like, because he's been covering video games for over a decade. That's why. And he's written hundreds of amazing pieces on various people in the industry, on various games. And if you had taken more than a second to maybe just Google his name and look at some of his work, you would have seen that. So we had this conversation on the What's Good podcast a couple weeks ago where we answered the question, do I need to be good at a game to enjoy it? And we had a discussion around it saying, which our basic consensus was no. In fact, we're bad at plenty of games that we enjoy. And that's why easy mode exists, so that you can be bad at it and it's okay to be bad at it.
Yeah.
I think that there would be a problem if Dean had come out and said given
Cuphead sucks.
Right.
I hate this game.
But there are plenty of people who do that.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. And I just think that there needs to be a distinction between that, and too many people are so quick to form an internet mob that they don't stop to just think rationally for a second, to stop and go, if this was me,
Yeah, yeah.
How would I feel about this conversation and how I would like it to go? What would I want people to consider? You know, and even us just saying it out loud probably has some people out there going, oh, I didn't think about it that way before.
Hopefully.
Like,
I'm sure the best friends didn't get mad, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the best friends are the best. But it's, yeah. So basically, I could ramble on about this continually, but essentially, that's the point. Vince's article is good.
Yeah, Vince's Twitter is great.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD. You give me your name, your username, your platform, and the game you need help on, along with a sob story of why. I read it here. The best friends come find you. They support you. You play games together, and everybody has a great time. Skylar on Xbox One writes in. His username is McTreat50495. MCTREAT 50495. I have only 8 friends. And of those, only one of them has been active in the last year. And it's always for Netflix! Damn, all my friends growing out of video games. I want to jump on that Destiny train that I missed on the first time around that my wife enjoyed so much on her PlayStation 4 with all her active friends. Also, if anybody still wants to play co-op Borderlands 2, I would be thrilled. I've played through it probably 50 times, but never co-op. What? That's crazy, Skylar, or McTreat 50495. Thanks in advance, hopefully. Skylar, a.k.a. McTreat 50495. Xbox One users, go find them. Play. Enjoy. Andrea?
Yes, Greg.
What did we get wrong today? Remember, you can go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong. Tell us what we screw up as we screwed up. We set the record straight.
All right, here we go. When Greg read the question about who wanted L.A. Noire, Andrea said no one. This is wrong. At least 10 of us in chat said we asked for it. We are the ones who liked it.
Well, thanks fucking a lot. You just delayed Red Dead even longer.
Trust me, Rockstar's big enough. Those are two different
They
games.
delayed Red Dead.
This is about the Forza thing, which you already told me you read. But the game is out on October 3rd. But that's not a new date.
That's not what we're talking about. We're
that
talking about
date's
the
been
demo.
announced.
The
Yeah.
demo. So you're wrong, actually.
So this one was about this funny. You know what the funny part is they wrote in with saying that Luke Smith posted on Twitter, and then they had an edit that says, "Never mind, Andrea's on top of the shit."
Nice job, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Just mentioning a missed game release date for today.
Thank you.
Tokyo Dark, only available on PC right now. Yep, for the PC nerds via Steam. It's a visual novel point-and-click hybrid kickstarted a couple of years ago, being released by indie studio Cherry Mochi and Square Enix Collective.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you. Shaders work on everything now. Weapons, Ghost, Sparrow, and ships, not just armor.
Gotcha.
I personally already have like 8 shaders with 5 of each. They come very often after hitting 20.
Okay. Maybe.
Nope.
No, not gonna let them up?
Not changing my opinion.
All
Should
right.
not be consumable.
Okay. I agree with that.
This person says it wasn't Luke from Bungie who said this. It was their new PR spokesperson, Sean Spicer, formerly of the White House. I like that, but it's on his Twitter feed right now. What's up, CERN, ma'am? Telltale, The Walking Dead Season 1 is still free for one more day.
Oh, really?
Humblebundle.com.
It had a counter. Oh, whatever. Good. Go get it.
He says, P.S. Greg, I miss playing with you and the best friends on Friday the 13th and bum rushing Joey Noelle while
Those
she
were
was
the days.
Jason, as we all escaped.
That was awesome. She was trying to block the exit to the cops, and so we all just ran at her, and she didn't really know what to do, and we all just got around her.
This one's editorial.
Okay, stop editorializing, everybody. You ready? That's
Yes.
it? Good.
What?
I had another segment that I was going to do here, but I don't want to do it anymore. I don't feel like it. So instead, I'll tell you that squat... No, wait. What?
You already did the
wrong.
squat up.
Yeah, I know. Instead, I'll tell you that you're wrong. Is brought to you by Lisa. Whether you're upgrading your home, your health, or your state of mind, there's one surprising item that belongs on your shopping list. Yep, a mattress. With over 10,000 5-star reviews, the Lisa mattress is in a league of its own when it comes to combining quality, innovation, and making a difference. The Lisa mattress is 100% American made and delivered compressed in a box to your door. It is thoughtfully crafted with high quality materials to create what Lisa calls their universal adaptive feel. Its 3 foam layers provide support, pressure relief, and cooling that adapts to all body shape, sizes, and sleeping styles. Yes, we know, it's amazing. What you feel on one side of the mattress will be different than what your partner feels, and thanks to their memory foam layer, you can completely avoid motion disturbance. I keep adding that. Often caused by tossing and turning on different schedules. Avoid awkward showrooms. The Lisa mattress compares with brands that cost thousands more, but because they don't believe in all the unnecessary extras, Lisa's prices start at just $525. Get an extra $100 off right now. Go to lisa.com/kindafunny and enter the promo code kindafunny, all one word. That's Lisa, LEESA.com/kindafunny, promo code, all one word, kindafunny. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, September 7th, 2017. Tomorrow, Andrea Renee's back. Like she never left. Chilling out here.
I'm staying here overnight.
Yeah, she's doing Kinda Funny Games cast right after this. Maybe we're streaming Destiny. I don't know. We haven't talked about it.
I'm streaming Destiny at twitch.tv/whatsgoodgames starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time, unless I get home a little bit earlier from Gamescast, but I don't think I will.
Yeah.
So 6 p.m.
Okay, cool.
I'll be back on.
Wait, what am I doing tonight? If I'm not doing anything, can I play with you?
I think so.
Okay, good. Just making sure. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about before jumping in and giving you perspective, opinions, answering your questions, and so much more. Be part of the show at kindafunny.com/KFGD. Watch live as we record it at twitch.tv/kindafunnygames or pick it up later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and podcast services around the globe. Remember, if you're watching live, about to do the Gamescast, patreon.com/kindafunnygames. All you have to do is give $1. You can watch live. What are you going to do? Talk to people in your house? No. You're going to focus on your work? You don't want to do that either. This is the way around that. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.